What's good, YouTube? This is Ray Drill. So in today's video, I want to show you guys this gun tight slots halfback week mini scheme in Madden 24. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So I pray y'all are having a great day. And also the playbook I'm in is the Bears offensive playbook. Again, I'm in the Bears offensive playbook. Now I think this is found in another formation. I want to say it's the Ravens, but I could be wrong. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but make sure you check the description of this video. And also in the description I do have my website, allthingsmadden.com, and on that website I do have ebooks. So if you're curious about any ebooks, make sure you check out the website. And I truly appreciate you guys that are rocking with me. Alright, so for this tight slots halfback week formation, it's a really great formation. Y'all should know this formation really well. I do have gameplay with this, so just kind of stick around to the end and you're going to see me play about 3 games worth. And then you'll be able to see how this works in game. So I'm gonna try to show you guys all the setups I can inside of this video. Now I can for the setup, you're gonna be able to see me bomb cover 3. We're gonna be able to comp bomb cover 4 drop, and then we're going to be able to have a big chunk play against cover 2. So and then also man coverage. I'm gonna show y'all man coverage. We're gonna be able to dice up man coverage easily with this offense. So it's an offense that's extremely good. So as far as your audibles, I love to have bench. Now you can have inside zone if you want, but I personally do like to put read option. So it's up to you. I just think it's cool that this particular playbook has read option in it. Now 4 verticals and mesh spot, and the play I like to come out in is this post wheel drag, which we're going to talk about first. So we're going to go against a dollar since it's still pretty meta defense, and we'll go over just the basic coverages that you'll see. So we're going to come out in cover 3 first, as you see here. So first and foremost, I want to show you how we could bomb cover 3. There's actually 2 plays we could do this out of for cover 3. Now I'm gonna just put the ball in the middle just because, but you don't have to have the ball in the middle for this offense to work, and you're gonna be able to see that in game here in a second. So I do want to spy one of these guys. So you see we have cover 3 here. Now for the cover 3 bomb, all we're gonna do, we're just going to motion out this guy, put him on a comeback route. We're going to take triangle, put him on a streak. We're going to take R1. I like to put him to the out route to the right. So this setup right here is one of my favorites, the bomb cover 3. All you're going to need is time in the pocket. So let's see if we can get something right here and just look at square. You want to hit that little gap right there, and that's what it's going to look like to get the easy one play touchdown against cover 3. Now I love this setup so much because it's going to make the user just kind of hesitate for a little bit. So naturally your user is going to be more on this side normally because we motion this guy out, which it doesn't apply all the time, but no matter what, we're going to be able to have a nice little concept here. So normally the users would like to kind of bait down low and then try to hurry up and jump this route. But about time they realize it, it's going to look like this corner is going to play it. So a lot of times the user will kind of pass this route off about right here in this section, about right here, they'll pass it off. And they'll start trying to come down, look for work because of this offense. You're going to see the plays where we're going to flood this middle. This is just one of the setups where we flood the outside. So notice how we have nobody running in the middle besides him. So this is one of the setups that I love. So my reads on this play, if for some reason they don't run cover 3 route immediately, I love to read this drag route. And then my second read, I look for the flat route to see if they're playing any type of, zone drops or not. And then lastly, I do love to hit this comeback if it's open, depending on how they're playing their zone drops. But this setup is primarily only for our cover 3 bomb, as you guys can see. So this is one way I like to bomb cover 3. Now another thing I like to do out of this formation, this is primarily versus man coverage. So if they're playing a lot of man, if you're seeing this style of man, I love just to motion out, circle, and then take R1 and do basically the same thing, except for now we're going to have a reprogression of our tight end drag. We're going to look for the running back to win on his route. We're going to peep this if it's open. And lastly, I love to look for this post late. So it just depends on what we get. You guys will see here, I'm going to try to hold the ball, and I'll just throw that right there just so you can see it, because a lot of times that will be your safe read. So again, I love this play in particular versus man coverage. It's just going to give the user too much to worry about because we'll be able to look here first, like I said, and secondly, you just want to see if you can get a win animation here. You might not get it all the time, but it's good just to kind of see if we can get it. That time we didn't, of course. And lastly, this route does win against man. It just depends on who, it depends on EA a lot of times. So if it's not open, you're going to have one of these 4 routes open immediately, one of them. So notice here we would have had the running back or would have had the drag route. You normally are going to have one of these open, if that makes sense. So it's why I love versus, run this versus man coverage. So this is pretty much everything I love to do out of this particular play. So bench is the next one I'm gonna just show you guys. So there's two setups I love. Either you're going to, now both of these setups are going to be the same. It depends on who you want to motion. So you can motion circle over, or you can motion square over. Whichever one you motion over, it doesn't matter who. You want to take the guy you motion over and put him on a streak. And then I like to take either, technically I'll run it like, so if I'm not sure they're going to blitz me, I will run it just like this. Or if I think they might play just a coverage, I'll take X right here, I'll put him on a drag. I'll take triangle, put him on a drag, and I'll leave the running back on this little check and release curl route. So just in case they kind of send a 6-man blitz, we kind of have some help there. And again, this will work versus just about every single zone coverage in the game. It's just a simple flood route concept, but the good thing about this is that we can max protect and still run a zone beating concept. So this is great versus those zone blitzes, those cover 3 blitzes or those cover 2 style blitzes. This will be perfect against this. So it's a very simple concept. We're just going to read the drags first, and the drags will pull down any of these purples or any of these clouds, and the streak will hold any of your quarters, any of your thirds. Just be very careful with cover 4 drop, but I'm about to show you guys how we can bomb cover 4 drop for a 1-play touchdown here in a second. As you can tell, we'll have the easy dot on the sideline. So really very simple with bench. Now another thing I like to do using the same motion, and keep in mind this is interchangeable, meaning that you can run this on the other side of the field if you want to. So we're going to take X, put him on a streak. We're going to take triangle right here, put him on a drag, and I love to run it just like this. Now this is more so bait with the square route. We want the user to follow over there, and we're just going to look for circle, and this will work versus any zone in the game basically, and that's going to be the window that you're looking for. Now it's not normally going to be that congested, but if in case it is, I just want to show you that you can still throw it. So basically you're just going to make the read between between this running back curl and this little post right here. Now normally the linebacker / safety doesn't carry that long, so you know it'll be open a lot sooner, and you're going to see this here in gameplay in a second. So really love that play right there. All right, 4 verticals. I love this versus man coverage. Now you can run this versus other zones. You also can run this versus cover 2. If you want to run this versus cover 2, you just simply need to take square, put him, re-streak him, and then I like to just personally take X, put him on a drag, and then just pretty much run it like this. Honestly, if I'm just playing cover 2, and I'll look at the running back first, and then basically I want to look at triangle. So you could run it this way. Now you just need a little time in the pocket, of course. That was a terrible read, I didn't mean to make that. So normally they're going to play some type of zone drop, meaning that the corners won't carry that in game. Now if for some reason your opponent is not zone dropping, if your opponent is zone dropping for some reason, then a lot of times they won't turn and run with this, which means that you'll have this gap here to throw. Now if they aren't zone dropping, then they're going to do exactly what you see, and you'll be able to throw this drag route. Just take the drag route, but I'm just telling you, most of the time they're not going to actually leave this guy in a stock cloud or a stock soft squat. They're going to put him in some type of zone drop most of the time. So most of the time this will be your read versus cover 2, and it'll give you a nice little dot. And if worst case scenario, you're going to have a 1-2 read to make the user have to choose, if that makes sense. So really love that play right there. Now versus man coverage, my favorite setup. You're going to see me run this in game 2. It works great versus man blitz, but it works good against regular man. I like to take square, put him on a slant, and then take circle and put him on a drag. And then if they're going to blitz me, I will block my running back. So I love this setup right here. It works great versus man. The slant does good, and also what you're looking for is really those outside wheel routes to actually toast man coverage. So I say wheel routes, out and up. So anyways, notice right here how he does get a win animation. Let's see if he gets one. Our tight ends this time does get a win animation. So you could just kind of see why I like this, because we're just going to have essentially 2 quick reads we can make versus man that kill man coverage normally. Again, it won't always kill man coverage, sadly, but it'll give you a good little read on both sides of the field. And then we'll have a drag and we have a slant. The reason we have a drag and a slant, in case they try to shade inside or outside, one of these routes is going to be good. Why? Because we have a route running inside and we have a route that's breaking outside, if that makes sense. So we're going to be able to be good no matter what. And if basically you see how he's going to take an inside release. So essentially we're just always going to have a read basically. So why I like that one. Now last play I wanted to save is going to be this mesh post. So what we're going to do is take circle. We're going to really, you don't have to smart route it. It's up to you. Personally, I like to smart route it. But what we're going to do is we're going to motion out square, put him on a comeback. We're going to take X, put him on a streak. Hold on, I don't know what happened. So we're going to go back to the mesh spot. We're going to motion square out. take them, put them on a comeback, take triangle, put them on a streak, take R1, put them on a curl. Now this setup right here will beat every single coverage in the game, and we'll be able to bomb just about every single coverage. Also, all you're going to need is time in the pocket, and as you're going to be able to tell, we're going to be able to get a nice little completion there. Well, we would have had one had we had time. So let me see what this was. It didn't look like cover 3, so normally they don't play it like this. He'll actually bite down. I'm curious about why he kept running. I think I need to smart route it. Oh, you know what? I know what happened. That's my fault. I put the streak on the wrong side. That's my fault. So let me give you that setup again. Yeah, I completely butchered that setup. So what you want to do is you want to take square, put him on a comeback. You want to take X, put him on a streak. Yeah, that was my fault. And then take R1, put him on a curl. So this is the setup. So I was wondering why I looked crazy. Now, kind of a good teaching point. You can see, you're going to be able to see the difference about why it matters. So now take a look at how wide open that is now that we actually set it up the correct way. And this setup right here will actually beat cover 3. You can also dot up cover 2, not really for a one play touchdown, but you can get a big chunk play against cover 2. And then versus cover 4 drop, you have a one play touchdown. So the good thing about this play is that normally the user will actually start really being aggressive on these drag routes when you start calling this offensive, like how I've been showing you. They'll be aggressive on this, or they'll be aggressive on this running back right here, and then that's going to open up this right here, as you can tell, for a pretty good, almost a one play touchdown, right? All right, so cover 2, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't call it against cover 2, but you can run this definitely versus cover 2, if that makes sense. You just have to make sure you hit your window, because you have a window you have to hit if you're gonna call this versus cover 2, and I'll show you here. It's gonna be right there. That's your window. You have to make sure you hit it in that window. If you wait later, you will throw a pick or intercept, well, a pick or incompletion. So please make sure if you're gonna call this, you've got to throw it in that window. And also this running back curl is going to be a good, option too. But see this window here, you have to throw it here. If you wait too long, the safety will have time to react and make a pick on it. So make sure you are throwing it there. So last thing I wanted to show you was versus cover 4 drop, just to show you that we do have a one play touchdown against it. You're just going to need a little bit of time in the pocket. So it's the same amount of time, maybe just about a second longer, maybe. And you'll see here, most of the time people only rush about 3. So what happens here is that the corner that's in quarters coverage, he's going to end up biting down on that comeback route every single time, no matter what. And that's what's going to give us that window. And the streak is actually going to be able to hold both of these safeties. This is kind of where the glitch is, because technically he's supposed to guard him, but the streak for some reason occupies the safety, and that's what opens up this little lane that you see for a clear bomb for a one play touchdown. So again, I'll show you one more time, then we'll hop straight into gameplay, so that way you don't think it's just some type of fluke or something. Here's mesh spot, square on the comeback, X on the streak, R1 on the curl, and you just need time in the pocket. But again, versus cover 4 drop, you're normally gonna have that time in the pocket to be able to bomb it for the potential one play touchdown. So let's go in and dive right into this gameplay. All right, so right here we did get matched up against the Cowboys first, and I love to kind of just start off the game with the read option, especially using the Bengals. Now I only picked the Bengals just because I didn't pick them for a particular reason. I just really felt like doing a video with them, so I just pick them. But anyway, this is the 4 verticals play, and it looked like it was either man or cover 3. He ended up playing cover 3, and so in cover 3 you will have that slant just about every single time, most of the time. So he did run cover 3, so I wanted to see if I can maybe get a cover 3 beater, if maybe he was trying to disguise it. So we are going to set up this for cover 3, but it does good against any zone coverage in the game, honestly. So I wouldn't, you don't have to call this specifically versus cover 3. It's because most of the time that drag route is going to be open just because of the route concepts that are on the field. So right here, this is the little post wheel play, and again, this is a setup that I just showed you, and you can tell right here that it's just, square is going to be open. We would have had it. We also had our drag. You're going to have reads available. You just have to have time in the pocket. So you're going to be able to see me try to buy a lot of time. Normally you want to try to step up, and right there circle with that little in route. It's just, this formation is good because it's giving the user just too much to worry about. And a lot of times people don't really have great defense versus your tight style of formation. So we just basically give the opponent a lot to worry about, and man coverage will definitely not get the job done in the red zone. So we are able to get a nice touchdown. And right here, I just wanted to show you how we got the ball back. I like, at least for me, I like to show you guys kind of game flow, so you understand how the game's flowing. Like, I just don't like showing, if I just get the ball back randomly. Now every now and again I may, depending on how long the video is, but I definitely missed my read. So that I want to give some context on that play. I was actually looking at triangle to see if he was going to win. I was looking at chase to see if he was going to get a win animation on his wheel route, but he did not. I did have somebody open on the right when I went back and edited this gameplay. Just completely missed it. But that normally happens, and that's why I try not to stare down receivers, but it happens, honestly. It literally happens. But anyways, right here we got 2nd and 9, and circle is going to get open for the 1-play touchdown, the cover 3 beater. Anytime somebody run cover 3, that play is going to be money. And I love this formation because a lot of times people feel safe in cover 4 drop this year. So you can definitely get a lot of people slipping in cover 4 drop with this offense. And again, that drag route is going to do work. Make sure you are taking your underneath. So this offense is extremely effective when you take what's given to you underneath. You have to make sure of that, because we know we're going to have some shots deep that we can take, but you got to get the user worried about underneath. And right there, I tried to throw square, but just ran out of time, sadly. And that's what you have to worry about when you go against the Cowboys. I'm really surprised he's not running more man coverage. It's right there. He did run man, and that's why I actually like this offensive formation for the read option. Because with the read option, if they play man coverage, if they are not making sure they're putting their quarterback on conservative, not conservative, the option for the quarterback. If they're not doing that, you're going to be able to get a lot of nice little garbage yards is what I like to call them, because it's yard that shouldn't really happen, but it's going to happen because they want to stay in man coverage. But right here is going to be this little post wheel play, and then we're going to do the same setup that I told you guys about. And I really was just wanting triangle a lot. Well, I was wanting them, but I never really got to make the read. And right there, that post route is going to do work. And it's just that post route is just really good in this formation. It's just, it can get between a lot of different zone coverages, like a lot of different hooks or verts, vertical hooks. It can get between all those. So right here, it just made sense to run the ball just to take my little easy points. And that's basically how this game went. He just quit out, so I just had to go load up another game. So we did get matched up against the Chargers this time, and I decided just to open up the game with just a run play. Keep it nice, keep it simple. We were able to just get about 2 yards right there. So right here, the thing about this offense is it seems like people should catch on to the motions, but we do so many motions that it's hard for somebody to know what we're doing. So the only way somebody can really just know what you're doing is if you're just going to keep playing them over and over again. Because this is just, we utilize motions almost every play, and there's some plays like this setup where we don't motion at all. So we're just giving the opponent way too much to worry about. And as you could tell, just a simple slant and drag with the wheel concept is actually just, it's why this formation is really good, especially if you have any type of slot apprentice. So if you had slot apprentice, I would put them where Jamar Chase is. I'll do a lot more post, a lot more, just different things like that. So I had circle right there, but sadly just ran out of time. So I decided just to kind of run a read option. I got the read I wanted, but Williams made a crazy play. Normally doesn't happen that way, so I wanted to just hurry up. Go ahead and call motion spot right here, and I figured he was in cover 3. But he kind of, he's been playing a lot of man, so that's why I wanted to put this slant. So I'm really looking between triangle and circle. So I noticed that his user was not worried about triangle for whatever reason, so we were able to actually make a play. And I started to make a juke on him, but I forgot I put it on conservative, so my quarterback wouldn't fumble. And right here, I just wanted to see if I can maybe take the top off with the post, and I did see he would get some separation because that is T. Higgins running that post route. We tried to get a little sticky, try to go back outside, but I think that was Derwin James tracking that down. So I actually did end up just getting 4th and goal with just taking our 3, just playing smart football. I don't like to play risky all the time, and it pays off because right there we are able to get the pick 6. And with this defense you guys are seeing, and he is going to quit out right there, I forgot about that, but with the defense you guys are seeing when I get to show you defensive highlights, it's the same defense I'm calling. It's the same one I have the ebook on. So if you really like what you're seeing or you want to try it out, just buy the ebook. I don't know how to say it, so that way you get all the setups, you get what I like to do, and you'll be able to run it yourself, see if you like it, see if you don't. But I have a lot of success out of it. I wouldn't lie to y'all. But anyways, right here, I seen square. We're gonna have him again for the cover 3 beater, and this play is just good because there's a lot of people who just will sit in cover 3 and just swear they're just the best player in the world just from playing stock cover 3 and having a decent user. And that's why this offense is good, because we have an underneath option, we have a post, but that's one thing that you can't control, that you want to avoid at all costs, is taking those sacks. Pause. It is 2nd and 15 though, and the reason this offense is just good, because at any point we can also run a flood concept, which is just, not only can we flood the middle, but we could flood the outside, and it's just, we're just giving you way too much to worry about. And then if you add on to the fact that we could take off with our quarterback, then, you know, it makes it even better. It's right there. I get those penalties a lot, illegal forward pass, because I love to step up in the pocket. It seems like this year they reward you more for stepping up than in years past, because it's just a lot of people like to just do a 4-man pass rush, or they'll do just an all-out blitz at you. Rarely do you see people just rush 3 people anymore. Normally, as you could tell, it's just a rush forward style. You know, that's how Madden wants you to play. So you get rewarded more for stepping up more than anything. So I'm okay with those penalties. So right here, this is the mesh spot play. I decided to take triangle, put him on a slant. Just that way, in case he ran a man, because he's been running a lot of man and like kind of a lot of zone. So I was looking at Jamar Chase. I was waiting on him to get open, and thankfully he did get the clutch little catch right there. So we are going to be able to move the chain. So right here, we got 1st and 10. Really need to get some points on the board right here. So I'm just trying to think about how I want to do this. So I'm just going to run the basic setup that you guys already know at this point. And again, you guys are starting to notice something. Them drags, look how many yards I'm getting off a drag route. I'm 5 for 5 for 152 yards. I think I threw 2 drags out of those 5 plays. So it should just tell you that this game really rewards you for taking what's given to you, and that's right there is why I love having the read option in the playbook. And because tight slots halfback week is in other formations, but the thing is that not all of them have the read option. I think only 2 of the formations, like 2 of the playbooks, have read option, and this is one of them. I just can't remember the second one. If one of y'all want to drop that in the comments, that would be appreciated, because I probably might forget to actually go look at both playbooks. Because immediately after I do this, I gotta edit. You know, I gotta put this whole video together, and then you know, let it upload to YouTube. All that process, which I'm sure you guys know about. But anyways, right here, this little stretch play is really good. Any stretch play, honestly, out of any under center stretch style play, stretch is just very, very good this year. They block great with the stretch. If you aren't running stretch under center, make sure you include it in your offense. Don't run it every play. Don't be that guy. Just run it when you kind of need some, you know, maybe you need a couple yards, maybe you need about 4 or 5 yards or so, and you don't really know what to call. When you get in those scenarios, call that stretch play. That stretch is good, man. But anyways, right there, you guys, I mean, I don't know how else to say that this play is good. I mean, I have no idea what else to tell you. Just like I said, I have no idea how to tell you that. Get the ebook, man. Get the defensive ebook. I don't know how else to tell you that. You know, you're going to give up. You know, every now and again, you're going to have players that, you know, have good answers to the defense. But most of the time, you're just, you know, you're guaranteed pressure every play. No matter what, you're going to be making sure you have somebody getting to the quarterback that's free every play. So, you know, just, if you're struggling on defense, I just recommend it. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, this is the bench play. Now I did notice the corner follows, so normally that does mean man coverage. So I was wondering about that. So I decided to kind of just look at. I was gonna be looking at square, but then I decided to just take him and put him on the streak, and it actually was zone. But I noticed that I had to step on him. But apparently I stepped up too far in the pocket. I made a great read on that, but wasn't able to get rewarded. Like I said, sadly, that's what you have to worry about whenever you call this. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video, though, because my opponent is about to quit out. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.